there's been some news that I've been hearing. We're going to get straight into it about Kim K and Pete Davidson. So we're going to kind of start off with that topic because, throughout their relationship, people have kind of been talking about them in terms of her breakup with Kanye and like Kim, what's the name? Pete being like a rebound and all of that. So I just want to kind of talk about that a little bit to see what everyone's thoughts are now that they have broken up, which a lot of people predicted. Like, I think when they first got together, a bunch of people were like, they're not going to last. That's a rebound. She's bouncing around from whatever. So, let's get into that a little bit. Andrea, what are your thoughts on the whole Pete Davidson and Kim thing?
I've been following the story for a while because I'm actually a big Kim K fan, and I honestly feel like she was moving on with her life. I mean, for whatever reasons she decided to date Pete, I don't see anything wrong with it. I feel like she's getting out of divorce, so she has every right to date and be in the market if she chooses to.
So, like, what about all the people that were like, this isn't going to last long? Are you just like, whatever, that's just how it goes?
I think she froze.
I think so too. What in the world? Oh, there you go. So people are always calling her names, for being, having these public boyfriends and things like that, which I'm not going to call her any types of names because I'm sure all of us know a woman who has dated more people than we can, like, that we've seen Kim K date. You know what I'm saying? So it's just her being in the public eye. But with him, did you think it was going to be serious at all to begin with, Andrea?
Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be that serious. Like, I think he was definitely something to do when there's nothing to do. But personally, knowing and seeing Kim K's like patterns of who she decides to date, I didn't really think it was going to work out. She actually, I was watching her on Hulu on her new show, and she was saying that the reason she was dating him was because she heard about his, she heard about his, I can't remember what she called it, BDE. I don't know if the women know what that means. And she said that she was DTF. So I think it was just, she said that on the show.
Oh.
Yeah, she said that on the show.
I saw a comment, somebody saying something about that. And I never heard that rumor or whatever, but I saw a comment about that since they broke up. And I was like, okay, is that it? So from what you saw, that was like kind of what she was on. In your opinion? I think she's frozen. Okay, she's frozen. No, you're not frozen. So in your opinion, that you think that's kind of what she was on from the beginning? You hear me, Andrea?
I don't think she can hear you.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, so personally,
I
think it was a stunt from the get-go. I think Pete is very ugly. Sorry to say it. I don't mean to be rude, but I do think he's really ugly. And I also think that Kim can do so much better than that. I think he was just a good time. I think that she just tried to get it out. But the only thing that does bother me about that is that Pete met all the children. And you don't just introduce a man to your children that's not going to stay around. Like, that's not cool.
Did you see he got some tattoos? I think he got a tattoo that said, like, my girl's a lawyer or something like that.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't believe in the tattoo thing anyway. But I think he's good for somebody else. I think that he just got very lucky and had whatever time that they had. But I just knew for certain that was not going to last. I mean, they just don't really particularly look good together. She needs a high-rise man to keep up with her.
Do you think he was too, I don't know, not as serious of a person just based on his background in comedy? Not saying that comedians can't be serious partners. Of course they can. But just his persona as kind of being silly and funny. Do you think that plays into your thought that you had about them?
Yeah, I didn't really know much about Pete until Kim Kardashian, and I think a lot of other people would probably say the same thing, or maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I think that having a comedian as a man, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. She probably needed a little more laughter, especially all the stuff that she's gone through over the years. But I think it probably just got really old. Like, okay, just sit down, be quiet and let me do what I need to do. She probably just got tired of his ass.
I saw this little clip. He was wearing 2 hats or something, and people were taking pictures, and she was like, take off the other hat. Like, she was kind of like talking to him like, okay, that's enough. And he's like goofing around.
Yeah, so, she's a fashionista. Like, she does not want to look crazy. So who she's with has to match her fly. And I think a lot of us would think that too. Like, who want to walk around with a man that don't look good? You see what I'm saying? Or just not even just aesthetic wise, just in general. You want your man to dress nice and look good, and they'll just both, match each other.
See, but Pete Davidson, though, like, okay, maybe we'll go to the men on this part. He has like a roster of people that he's dated that have been, pretty good looking women and successful and all of that. So, like, Humble Dad, what do you think about the whole situation? Because I get what Chavon is saying and Andrea about, maybe this was just Kim's rebound and, maybe it wasn't going to last very long from the get-go. But, he's dated some people, some famous people.
I mean, I just looked it up. I mean, I know a little bit about Pete Davidson as far as like, his career and things like that. But I didn't know who he dated until I just looked it up. And he dated some pretty, some of them would be considered models. You know what I'm saying? Or what was it? Ariana Grande was one of them. Many people say that she's beautiful. I would say that, I would say that I knew that the breakup would be coming just because I would say they don't seem that like they would go together for me, I would say because of age, right? Because she's 40 something and he's like 29. He doesn't have kids. She has 4 kids. She's going through a divorce at the time. So it was, to me, I would say it was inevitable. However, I wanted to go back to what Miss Chavon was saying when she said something like that. You're a fan of Kim K and you didn't feel like she should go after or be with Pete Davidson because he's ugly. Like, how does that?
I think he's cute, actually.
But even if he is ugly, you know what I'm saying? Why would that be a reason if she already gave you a reason? Like, the reason was not because of his looks. The reason was because of his penis, is what she said.
I think that he made her laugh.
No, I'm asking Chavon. Like, why would?
Because she's the one that said he was not good looking or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I still stand on what I said. I still don't think he's good looking, but I think that even though that's what attracted her, I get that, but that's not enough sometimes. Like, you can do the do or whatever, but there has to be more than just that. That's why I got old. If that's all she needed, like, she could have got that from anybody. Who cares?
But I'm saying that's what she was attracted to. I was just responding to you saying she could do better than him. Well, I mean, that's for her to say, really, right? To say that she could do better because she chose him for a particular reason, which doesn't really make sense to most, I guess. But that's women. Some women do that as well as some men do that. Right?
I want to hear what Andrea was about to say because I think she was going to say something that I was going to say. Go ahead.
Yes, I think that ultimately he was what she needed at the time. Like, when you think about Kanye West, it's really, I would say, a controversial topic when it comes to like even being a controlling person or maybe have a narcissistic personality disorder. So I think whatever circumstances she was in is all the reason why she chose to date Pete Davidson. And he seems like he's very like comical, like he's fun, like he's free. He just seems almost like the complete opposite of Kanye. And I feel like that's exactly what she needed. And I was happy for her. I feel like she was experimenting with dating. So I'm happy for her.
So, Bruiser, what do you think about what Andrea just said about Pete kind of being like a contrast to Kanye and kind of just looking for that in that moment?
I honestly don't think he was any bit of a contrast. I think he was more like similar with the mental issues. Kanye has similar mental issues that she had to deal with. And I think that same atmosphere was dawned in on her when she dealt with Pete Davidson.